Hi, it's Mel from Illamasqua, and in this video I am going to show you how to create a beautiful everyday glowy skin look using our new Beyond foundation. This new formula has a sheer natural coverage, so your skin is going to look like your skin, but it has the most incredible finish. It's like a glowy glass-like look, and the formula is packed with skin conditioning benefits. So I'm going to show you now how to use this to create a really pretty everyday look that's going to last. So the first step in creating a glowy everyday look is to really make sure that you've primed your skin, and for two reasons. The first one is glowy skin highlights any texture on the face, so if you have pores, fine lines, any kind of small bumps, anything glowy is going to show that off anymore. The other reason is you need to prime your skin for your skin type. So if your skin is oily and you're going to create a glowy look, it's going to look great at first, but as the oil produces throughout the day, you're going to get glowier and glowier, and it might look a little bit too much. If your skin is normal, dry or dehydrated, you can just stick to a normal primer. So in our range, we have matte primer, which is going to be perfect for anybody who's got oily skin, but we also have Hydra Veil, and this is a good all-rounder for all skin types. It has smoothing properties, so it's going to get rid of any fine lines, any pores, any kind of texture, but it also helps you to create a look that's going to last all day, and that's really important for an everyday look. So my skin already has a little bit of moisturizer on it, and I am going to go ahead and apply some Hydra Veil, which you can see is like a clear gel, and I'm just going to pop this on around the center of the face, because this is the part of the face that's the most important. It's the bit that everybody sees instantly, and I just like to use my fingers when I'm smoothing that on, and I'm particularly focusing here where I have a few pores and also around the chin. That's a really key area because you tend to touch your skin and particularly your chin throughout the day without you even realizing it. I'm going to do the forehead as well. That's an area that tends to get pores and might have a little bit of congestion and a few bumps. I'm going to smooth that out. So you can apply it all over the face, but it's not really necessary. As long as you've got some good moisturizer on, it should be fine. And this is a hydrating formula. It has algae extract in it to help soothe any redness, and you'll feel that it has almost like a slightly tacky feel. That dries down, and that's what the foundation really adheres to and gives you that long wear. So the next step is to apply the foundation, and I'm going to go ahead and apply my Beyond foundation in LG3. If you need any help choosing the shade, we also have a video on YouTube that talks through the shading system, which is super easy and allows you to choose the perfect shade for you. So when it comes to actually applying the foundation, in terms of brushes, I have two choices and actually a secret third one. So the first one is more of a traditional type of foundation brush. I tend to find these are good for sheer foundations, but they tend to be better for more medium to fuller coverage. You get really quick, instant look quite heavily. The better one for me, for creating like a natural everyday look, is something like this, which is round, fluffy, it's compact, but it has a little bit of movement, and I'm going to use that in like circular motions. The other option is to use your fingers. This can be really great for sheer foundations because it allows the product to warm into the skin and just sit really beautifully. The problem is you get it all on your hands, and sometimes you use a little bit more product than you actually need to. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a little squirt that's like a pea-size amount, and I'm going to go in with my buffing brush and start applying the foundation. So I've applied foundation to this side of my face, and I had a few blemishes here, and you can see that Beyond foundation has covered them very slightly, which is perfect. So it still looks like my skin, and this is what a sheer coverage foundation should do. It should take down the imperfections slightly, but your real skin is still going to be able to shine through. And you can see that I've got that really amazing glow there as well. I'm going to crack on and apply the other side, and you can see I'm using these kind of circular motions and getting right into the side of the nose and blending that out. And what circular motions do is they really just push the product around, so you use less, and that's what gives you that natural look. This foundation has hyaluronic acid, which is a humectant that helps draws moisture to the skin. So if your skin is dry and dehydrated, or even normal, because a lot of people have dehydrated skin, this is going to be a really great formula for you. The next step is to apply some concealer. Now, Beyond foundation is a sheer coverage, so it's going to take away some imperfections, but if you have blemishes, maybe some pigmentation, or even this area here, concealer is going to be a really good option for you, and we're going to use it in a very precise way so we don't take away from the natural look that we're going for. I'm going to use some skin-based concealer pen. I love this. It has a peach infused tones that help get rid of any blue circles, but it's also really moisturizing and it sets into place. So for me, this is my perfect formula. I also use an eyeshadow brush because it's got a bit of a blend, so you get more of an airbrush look. For under eyes, I like to apply straight in here, quite heavily actually, because that's the area that's the most blue. And this area can take a lot of makeup. And then I blend it out, going lightly over here so I don't apply too much, and then just bringing it down and really kind of making sure that I've got lots of coverage where I need it. So you can really see that that concealer has really just lifted the whole look. When it comes to imperfections like blemishes, rather than applying a heavier foundation, which is just going to cover your whole face, you can use concealer in a really strategic way. So by using a brush, just go in and almost pat the concealer on. So you're really packing it into the blemish. And then what you do is you just use your finger and you just blend around the blemish and the concealer that you've just applied. So you're blending the concealer in with the foundation. That way you get the coverage that you want, but it looks natural and it's not going to affect the whole look. So I'm loving my skin, it's perfected, but it's got really nice glow from the Beyond foundation. And the next step is to apply a bit of blusher. So this is all about adding warmth back into the skin. When you use foundation, it takes away the natural warmth because it covers your face. And because we're going for a glowy look, I do think using a cream or gel blush is going to be better because it's going to give you that glow, it's going to set into place, it's just going to kind of melt in and just look super radiant. So with that in mind, I'm going to be using Colour Veil. This one is called Tonic, which is one of my faves. It's like a pinky peach colour, really, really nice. For deeper skin tones, consume and entice are beautiful. When it comes to using this, I'm using the same brush that I use for the foundation. And I'm just patting that on, putting a really small amount. You don't need a lot of blusher, you can build it up in layers. And I like to place it at the side of the face and so that I blend onto the apples of the cheek. So rather than kind of going here, it's more here. And because I'm using circular motions, it's going to get blended out where I need it to be anyway. And so you can see already it's giving me a nice kind of warmth to the skin. And really it's just about building it up to the level of intensity that I want or that you would want. So blusher is applied and you can see that I've got that nice bit of warmth, just giving a bit of life back to my skin. And whatever's left on my brush, I always like to pop onto my eyes as well, so it just complements the whole look and creates a sense of harmony. So the next step is to apply a little bit of powder. Now, if your skin is normal or dry, you can probably skip this step. But if your skin is oily or combinational, this is an absolute must. And we're going to apply this in really strategic areas, so it's not going to affect the glowy look. If your skin is oily or combinational, you're going to create a dewy skin and it's going to look great, but as the oil produces throughout the day, it's going to get glowier and glowier and it might get a little bit too much. So using powder can really help with this. I'm going to use some translucent pressed powder, which as you can see is white. This is great across all skin tones and it's not going to add any colour or coverage, so it's not going to change the look, but it is going to set the foundation, it's going to mattify. Now I'm going to go in with a fluffy brush and I'm going to pop that in, give it a shake so you take off the excess, and then I'm going to press it in certain locations, mostly down the T-zone, which are the areas where you're going to tend to get oily. So round the nostrils is really, really important. And then the center panel here, and then also the forehead. And then the chin, like I said before, we tend to touch without even realizing it. So you really want to make sure that that's held into place. And what you're going to get when you apply the powder is you're going to get a really nice contrast from it being matte in the center and then still having the glow on the sides of the face, which is where you want it. And that is it, how to create a glowy everyday skin look using our new Beyond foundation. If you need any help choosing shades, please check out our video on YouTube that talks you through our 3-step system to find your perfect shade.